In this video, I'm going to share 9 things that polite and elegant people don't say during a conversation at a social event, whether it's at a party or any kind of gathering. Hi, how are you? I'm Juliana Santiago, etiquette consultant and teacher, and co-founder of the Institute of Etiquette and Protocol, the Institute of Etiquette and Protocol. And in this video, I picked out 9 things, 9 details that polite people don't say during a conversation. When they're in a group of people, in a circle, at a social event, making comments about relationships is extremely inappropriate. So avoid asking, for example, when someone is going to get married or why they haven't found a boyfriend. Be very careful when bringing up this kind of topic. The ideal thing is to keep talking with the person, and when they feel comfortable, and if they feel comfortable, they'll share that with you, right? When she's going to get married, or if she's looking for love, sometimes she's not even looking and you're asking her about it. It's important to be careful with this kind of question. Another type of topic that's extremely sensitive is the question of when you're going to have children, right? We have the habit of asking people and thinking it's normal that everyone wants to have children. Many times the person may not want to have children even if you do and you like it. Or maybe the person could be going through an extremely delicate moment. Many times she is going through a phase of infertility, she can't get pregnant. And whenever you talk about having children, this kind of topic makes the person bring up inside herself a feeling that leaves her extremely upset. Comparing achievements, whether yours or your child's, with someone else's is extremely inappropriate. So be very careful when someone tells you something and you simply downplay her news with an event or experience from your life. For example, someone says, "Wow, my son learned to read, I'm so happy." Then you respond, "No, because my daughter learned to read at 5 years old. As soon as she turned 5, she already knew how to read." "How old is your boy?" "Oh, he's 7. Then you get extremely upset and frustrated because your news has already been overshadowed by someone else's. So be very careful. Another example is when someone tells you, "Wow, I just got back from a trip." Then you say, "Oh, where did you go?" "Oh, I went to Disney." Then you say, "Wow, I've been to Disney like 5 times already." The first time I went to Disney, I was 1 month old. And then every year until I turned 5, I went to Disney. So like situations where you'll end up coming out on top. Avoid it. Wait for the person to ask you if you've been to Disney. How many times have you been? Wait until someone asks when your child learned to read. Be very careful when making comparisons. Many times, even without meaning to, we end up creating rivalries, and that's extremely annoying. Sarcastic and offensive comments are also extremely sensitive and can be very disrespectful. We need to be a little careful with jokes and how far they can go. So, be very careful with the way you use certain terms and make certain remarks. Because the person might feel bad, they might feel offended when they hear that from you. Even if you say it in a joking tone, sometimes you might come and say something like this. "Wow, here comes Juliana with her makeup again. Juliana, you're always wearing makeup. Wow, do you even wear makeup to the beach?" And then can I feel offended? I might take it as a joke, but many times, especially if you don't know who you're joking with, you might end up hurting the person. If, for example, you notice that the person has a flaw, let's say she speaks very loudly. Then you say, "Look, everyone, Maria talks like a megaphone." We have to be very careful with that. If you feel that the person needs to adjust something in their behavior and you want to give them feedback, be positive, be polite, be kind, be more discreet about this. Call Maria over there, give her this feedback. "Look, Maria, I think sometimes you're speaking a bit loudly. Have you noticed that?" So it's important for us to really pay attention to how we're going to say things. Asking questions about someone's financial life is extremely impolite, and so are comments about it. So be very careful when making comments like, "How much do you make?" "Wow, are you really rich?" Wow, that's really bad. Be cautious with those remarks, positive or negative. This can make the person extremely offended and make them hesitant to have a relationship with you. So it's important to pay attention to that. Making comments about someone's style is also something you need to stop. And it shouldn't be part of what you say. The way you communicate, the topics you bring up in group conversations. So if you think someone sometimes dresses too formally or sometimes too casually, you realize you can help. You should do this in a discreet way and not make inappropriate comments like, wow, here comes Maria. She dresses like a 90-year-old lady. So be careful. If someone likes to dress a little differently than you do, there's no right or wrong. There's the way she wants to express her personal style. And personal style is very different from dress code or appropriate attire. I can have one personal style and you can have another. But dressing appropriately for the environment we're going to, that's a different topic. And if you want, we can talk more about that later. But it's important for us to avoid making comments about someone's appearance or their style because that can make the person extremely offended. Sometimes they want to change their style or dress differently. And what you did was shine an even bigger light on a problem she already knows she has, So we have to be a little careful. And what's one thing we can never forget? To like the video and subscribe to the channel in case you haven't subscribed yet. You arrived here at the video, you're watching, you just stumbled upon it. So subscribe to the channel because I'll be really happy to have you here. Another thing is when you keep reminding someone of delicate moments they've been through, it's embarrassing, So if you're in a group of friends at a party and someone there has gone through an extremely embarrassing or delicate moment, be careful, don't keep bringing that up, okay? Especially if the person doesn't find it funny, if the person doesn't see any problem in sharing that. That's fine, but let her speak, You don't have to be the one to bring up a topic that doesn't concern you either, So we need to be a little more careful when we're going to talk about something that happened. Correcting others publicly is also another huge mistake. And it's something we need to adjust in our communication to keep telling people publicly that they need to improve the way they communicate. For example, wow, you speak so incorrectly. Wow, you could dress better. Wow, you came to the party wearing that. So, we need to pay attention to the way we make observations and comments to other people, and even more than with others. Many times we make comments to people who are close to us. Sometimes you make a negative comment to your husband, for example. Wow, stop talking so loudly in front of everyone. Sometimes you come and call your child's attention in front of everyone too, and that makes the person feel embarrassed. If you want to correct someone, it's best to do it privately, in a more discreet way, in a calmer environment, where you can really give feedback, and it will be constructive for the person. And if you want to learn more about behavior, about good manners, and want to become a more elegant person, click now on the link below and join my Etiquette and Good Manners training. A training taken by thousands of people around the world. And I would love to have you as a student at our school, as a student in my training. If you want, you can also point your phone at this QR code that's showing up here on the screen, and you'll be directed to our website. By using the discount code YOUTUB, you get a special discount on your first purchase. Come be a part of our school. I'll be very happy to welcome you. Discussing illnesses or personal health issues isn't a good topic to bring up in a conversation circle. If someone is going through a delicate moment or has a family member who is also facing a health issue, let the person share it themselves. Even if sometimes you actually know what's going on. Let the person feel open, feel comfortable, and share that with you. It's much more delicate for us to let other people talk. We can make them feel comfortable so they can share with us what they want. And not interrupt and keep asking questions. Sometimes a friend's husband is sick and keep asking, is he better, all the time. Sometimes she doesn't even want to talk about it. Sometimes she wants to talk about other things, discuss other topics to ease her mind a little. But we keep bringing up these issues and difficulties that the person is going through, and she might end up feeling even worse, you know? So we have to be careful with these kinds of topics, and especially when introducing this kind of subject. And one thing I can assure you, if you manage to adjust and stop making these kinds of comments, stop talking about these topics, people will like you more. But did you know there are other things that make people not like you? There's a video here on the side for you to watch, and in this video I talk more about how you can make people like you more. Don't forget to watch it. I'll stop now. Thanks. See you in the next video.